Haribo, Haribo. Haribo, okay, so, sound? Not so strong. Haribo, Haribo, Hare Krishna, it's good. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Chira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you so much for your presence. We are here to read the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, texts 45 until 46. Thank you, Mataji. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayanam dirayet shrinvatan swakata Krishna punya shrayana kirtana hridiyantastu hayabhadrani vidunati suhritsatam nashta prayastu abhadreshu natyam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloki Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki Haribo Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today the text is a little big. I will read. Snigdha pravritgana shamam Sarva Samdarya Sangraham Charu Ayata Chaturbaho Sujata Ruchirananam Padma Kosha Palakshashan Sundara Bhru Sunasikam Sudvijan Sukapolasyam Sammakarna Vibhushanam Snigdha pravrit ghana shyaman Sarva samdarya sangraham Charu ayata chaturbaho Sujata ruchirananam Padma Kosha Palakshashan Sundara Bhru Sunasikam Sudvijan Sukapolasyam Sammakarna Vibhushanam Shri Jagannath Baladev Shrimad Subhadra Ki Jai, Shri Gaura Nitai Ki Jai, Shalagrama Shila Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Snigdha Pravrit Ghana Shaman Sarva Samdarya Sangraham Charu Ayata Chaturbahu Sujata Ruchirananam Padma Kosha Palakshashan Sundara Bhru Sunasikam Sudvijan Sukapolasyam Sammakarna Vibhushanam Prabhus Snigdha Pravrit Ghana Shaman Sarva Samdarya Sangraham Charuayta Chaturbahum Sujata Ruchirananam Padma Kosha Palakshashan Sundara Bhro Sunnasikam Sudvijan Sukapolasyam Sarmakarna Vibhushanam. Matajis? Snigdha Pravrit Ghana Shaman Sarva Samdarya Sangraham Charvayata Chaturbahum Sujata Ruchirananam Padma Kosha Palakshakshan Sundara Bhrusunasikam Sudvijan Sukapolasyam Samakarna Vibhushanam Snigdha Pravrit Ghana Shyaman Sarva Samdarya Samgraham Charvata Chaturbahum Sujata Ruchirananam Padma Kosha Palakshakshan Sundara Bhrusunasikam Sudvijan Sukapolasyam Sarmakarna Vibhushanam. Okay, translation, word by word, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Snigdha, glistening. Pravrit, rainy season. Ghana shaman, densely cloudy. Sarva, all. Saundarya, beauty. Sangraham, collection. Charu, beautiful. Ayata, bodily feature. Chaturbahum, unto the four-armed. Sujata, ultimately beautiful. Ruchira, very pleasing. Ananam, face. Padmakosha, the worm of the lotus flower. Palasha, petals. Akshan, eyes. Sundara, beautiful. Bhru, eyebrows. Sunasikan, raised nose. Sudwijam, beautiful teeth. Sukapola, beautiful forehead. Ashan, face. Samakarna, equally beautiful ears. Vibhushanan, fully decorated. Translation given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord's beauty resembles a dark cloud during the raining season. As the rainfall glistens, His bodily features also glisten. Indeed, He is the sum total of the all beauty. The Lord has 4 arms and an exquisitely beautiful face with eyes like lotus petals. a beautiful, highly raised nose, a mind-attracting smile, a beautiful forehead, and equally beautiful and full decorated ears. Purport. It's a big purport. After the scorching heat of the summer season, it is very pleasant to see dark clouds in the sky, as confirmed in Brahma Samhita, Bharhavatan San Asitan Buddha Sundaram. The Lord wears a peacock feather in his hair, and his bodily complexion is just like a blackfish cloud. The word Sundara or Snigdha means very pleasing. Kandarpakoti Kamanya, Krishna's beauty is so pleasing that not even millions upon millions of cupids can compare to it. The Lord's form as Vishnu is decorated in all opulence. Therefore, Lord Shiva is trying to see that most opulent form of Narayana or Vishnu. Generally, the worship of the Lord begins with the worship of Narayana or Vishnu, whereas the worship of Lord Krishna and Radha is most confidential. Lord Narayana is worshipable by the Pancharatrika Vidhi, or regulative principles, whereas Lord Krishna is worshipable by Bhagavata Vidhi. No one can worship the Lord in the Bhagavata Vidhi without going through the regulations of the Pancharatrika Vidhi. It's not possible to deny one step. I would like to go directly. It's not possible and not recommended. No? Actually, neophyte devotees worship the Lord according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi, or the regulative principles enjoined in the Narada Pancharatra, explained and compiled by Sri Narada Muni. Radha Krishna cannot be approached by the neophyte devotees. Therefore, temple worship according to regulative principles is offered to Lakshmi Narayana. Although there may be a Radha Krishna Vigraha or form, the worship of the neophyte devotee is acceptable as Lakshmi Narayana worship. Worship according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi is called Vidhi Marga, and worship according to the Bhagavata Vidhi principles is called Raga Marga. The principles of Raga Marga are especially means for devotees who are elevated to the Vrindavana platform. The inhabitants of Vrindavana, the Gopis, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, the cow-haired boys, the cows, and everyone else are actually on the Raga Marga or Bhagavata Marga platform. They participate in the 5 basic rasas: Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, and Shanta. But all through these 5 rasas are found in the Bhagavata Marga. The Bhagavata Marga is especially means for Vatsalya and Madhurya, or paternal and conjugal relationship. Yet there is the Vipralamba Sakya, the higher fraternal worship of the Lord, especially enjoyed by the cow-haired boys. Although there is friendship between Krishna and the cow-haired boys, this friendship is different from the Aishwarya friendship between Krishna and Arjuna. When Arjuna saw the Vishwarupa, the gigantic universal form of the Lord, he was afraid for having treated Krishna as an ordinary friend. Therefore, he begged Krishna's pardon. However, the cow-haired boys, who are friends of Krishna in Vrindavana, sometimes ride on the shoulders of Krishna. They treat Krishna equally, just as they treat one another. And they are never afraid of him, nor do they ever beg his pardon. Thus, the Raga Marga, or Bhagavata Marga, friendship exists on a higher platform of Krishna, namely the platform of Vipralamba friendship. Paternal service, and conjugal service are visible in the Vrindavana Raga Marga relationships. Without serving Krishna according to the Vidhi Marga regulative principles of the Pancharatrika Vidhi, unscrupulous person wants to jump immediately to the Raga Marga principles. Such persons are called Sahajiya. There are also demons who enjoy depicting Krishna and his pastimes with gopis, taking advantage of Krishna and their licentious character. These demons are print books and write books on the Raga Marga principles are surely on the way of hell. Unfortunately, they led ones down with them. Devotees in Krishna consciousness should be very careful to avoid such demons. One should strictly follow the Vidhi Marga regulative principles in the worship of Lakshmi Narayana, although the Lord is present in the temple as Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna includes Lakshmi Narayana. Therefore, when one worships the Lord according to the regulative principles, the Lord accepts the services in the role of Lakshmi Narayana. In the Nectar of Devotion, full instructions are given about the Vidhi Marga worship of Radha Krishna or Lakshmi Narayana. Although there are 64 kinds of offenses one can commit in Vidhi Marga worship. In Raga Marga worship, there is no consideration of such offenses because the devotees on that platform are very much elevated. And there is no question of offense. But if we do not follow the regulative principles on the Vidhi Marga platform and keep our eyes trained to spot offenses, we will not make progress. In this description of Krishna's beauty, Lord Shiva uses the word Charu Ayata, Charu Bahu, Sujata Ruchirananam, indicating the beautiful four-armed form of Narayana or Vishnu. Those who worship Lord Krishna describe him as Sujata Ruchirananam. In the Vishnu Tattva, there are hundreds and thousands and millions of forms of the Supreme Lord, but all of these forms, the form of Krishna is most beautiful. Thus, for those who worship Krishna, the word Sujata Ruchirananam is used. The four arms of Lord Vishnu have different purposes. The hands holding lotus flowers and concha are meant for the devotees, whereas the other two hands holding a disc and a mace or club are meant for the demons. Actually, all of the Lord's arms are auspicious, whether they are holding conchas and flowers or clubs or discs. The demons killed by Lord Krishna's chakra, disc, and club are elevated to the spiritual world, just like the devotees who are protected by the hands holding the lotus flower and concha. However, the demons who are elevated to the spiritual world are situated in the impersonal Brahman effulgence, whereas the devotees are allowed to enter into the Vaikuntha planets. Those who are devotees of Lord Krishna are immediately elevated to the Goloka Vrindavana planet. Haribo. The Lord's beauty is compared to rainfall because when the rain falls in the rainy season, it becomes more and more pleasing to the people. After the scorching heat of the summer season, the people enjoy the rainy season very much. Indeed, they even come out of their doors in the village and enjoy the rainfall directly. Thus, the Lord's bodily features are compared to the clouds of the rainy season. The devotees enjoy the Lord's beauty because it is a collection of all kinds of beauties. Therefore, the word Sarva Saundarya Sangrahan is used. No one can say that the body of the Lord is wanting in beautiful parts. It is completely Purnam. Everything is complete. God's creation, God's beauty, and God's bodily features. All these are complete, that all one's desire can become fully satisfied when one sees the beauty of Lord. The word Sarva Saundarya indicates that there are different types and beauties in the material and spiritual world, and that is the Lord contains all of them. Both material and spiritualists can enjoy the beauty of the Lord, because the Supreme Lord attracts everyone, including demons and devotees, materialistics and spiritualistics. He is called Krishna. Similarly, his devotees also attract everyone, as mentioned in the Shat Goswami Stotra, Dira Dira Jana Priya. The Goswamis are equally dear to the Dira, devotees, and Adira, demons. Lord Krishna was not very pleasing to the demons when he was present in Vrindavana, but the 6 Goswamis were pleasing to the demons when they were present in Vrindavana. That is the beauty of the Lord dealing with his devotees. Sometimes the Lord gives more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. For instance, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Lord Krishna thought simply by giving directions. Yet it was Arjuna who took the credit for fighting. Nimitta matran bhava savya satim. Yeah. You, Savyasati, Arjuna, can be but an instrument in the fight. Bhagavad Gita 11.33. Everything was arranged by the Lord, but the credit of victory was given to Arjuna. Similarly, in the Krishna consciousness movement, everything is happening according to the predictions of Lord Chaitanya, but the credit goes to Lord Chaitanya's sincere devotees, servants. Thus, the Lord is described herein as Sarva Saundarya Sangrahan. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Nagyana Timirandasya Janandana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militanyana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitanyena Bhutale Swayanupa Katamahyan Nadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadgura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshanavani Paschatalishatarine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Jayapataka Swami Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakata Damdaya Nagara Grammatarine. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Read one more time, the translation. The Lord's beauty resembles a dark cloud during the rainy season. As the rain falls glisten, his bodily features also glisten. Indeed, he is the sum total of all beauty. The Lord has 4 arms and an exquisitely beautiful face with eyes like lotus petals, a beautiful highly raised nose, and mind-attracting smile, a beautiful forehead, and equal beautiful and fully decorated ears. Hare Krishna. So just to remind some aspect of contextualization inside considering this verse and this chapter, according to the conversation that was happened here in this part of chapter, chanted the song sung by Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is singing a mantra glorifying the Supreme Lord Krishna, and he's chanting his mantra to show and to explain and to teach how to serve and how to glorify the Supreme Lord Krishna. He's explaining this for another people, for another devotee. Of course, advanced devotee, because he's talking together with Lord Shiva. And this situation is very special and very elevated. So, just to remind some previous activities in the Canto 2, Chapter 10, Text 48, Shaunakarishi, after hearing all about the creation, inquired from Sutta Goswami about Vidura. For Sutta Goswami had previously informed him how Vidura left home, leaving aside all his relatives who were very difficult to live. All these activities, all this stuff, your home, family, is very difficult to live. And Vidura leave and go to the forest. The king Vidura. No? So in the Canto 4, Chapter 24, King Pratinabarhi begot 10 children in the womb of Shatadruti. All of them were equally endowed with religiosity, and none of them were known as the Prachetas. These 10 sons start to know as the Prachetas, because these austerities and procedures to worship and surrender to the Supreme Lord. When all these Prachetas were ordered by his father to marry and beget children, immediately they all entered the ocean to practice austerities. They deny the order of his father. His father ordered, go to marry and beget children. So the Prachetas deny this order and go to the ocean to practice austerities and penances for 10,000 years. Thus, they worship the master of all austerities, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Lord Shiva was very pleased with the Prachetas because these activities, and taught a mantra of glorification of Supreme Lord Krishna. So, still in this text, we are reading now, we have descriptions about the conversation between the sage Maitreya and King Vidura. In this conversation, the sage Maitreya is giving instructions to Vidura, the King Vidura, through narratives involving great devotees, of course involving Lord Shiva. And this mantra, these prayers of Lord Shiva, goes from the text 33 until 69 inside this chapter. So beautiful mantra glorifying many aspects of Supreme Lord Krishna. So in the text here, the mantra goes from the text 33 until 69. But in the text 79, it said, "My dear sons of the king, the prayers I have recited to you are meant for pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead." Lord Shiva talking with the Prachetas. He is singing the mantra and explaining about the meaning of the mantra and about the surrender and glorified, the act of surrender and glorified Supreme Lord Krishna. I advised you to recite these prayers, which are as effective as great austerities. In this way, it's very important, this part, when you are mature, né? Lord Shiva explaining the meaning of the mantras, the procedure of austerities, compare the procedures of chanting the mantra and practice austerities. And at the end of these explanations, he said, okay, when you are mature, it means not now, né? But after some procedures, after step by step. Né? Your life will, so in this way, when you are mature, your life will be successful, and you will certainly achieve all the desired objectives without fail. So we can notice here that is a way to follow, né? Step by step to do. It's not immediately. Né? I start now and I receive now the results. No. Né? And Lord Shiva explaining this procedure for the prachetas. So in this purport given by Srila Prabhupada, we can see two practical scientific and philosophical systems. Né? The Pancharatrika Vidhi system, fundamentally based on strict rules and regulations for temple worship. And the second system, Bhagavata Vidhi, fundamentally based on preaching the glories of the Lord and chanting His holy names. This system starts with the procedures of Shravana Kirtana. So two different philosophical and scientific practical systems. One system based in laws and regulative principles, and another system based on chanting the holy names and glorify the Supreme Lord Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada compiled the book called Pancharata Pradipa, which is based on Hari Bhakti Vilasa of Sanatana Goswami, which is based on Narada Pancharatra of Narada Muni. So the Pancharata Pradipa, né, we have these three books. Né? So Pancharata Pradipa is not only the guide, the manual to worship the deity. Né? Okay, I need to offer 3 times, 2 times, 4 times. Né? Of course, there are many of these description details, né? The details descriptions about this procedure, but is not limited to this. The Pancharata Pradipa, showed by Srila Prabhupada, is a complete guide of daily conduct to improve our sadhana and develop remembrance of Krishna. This is the goal to practice all these systems. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, following the steps of Rupa Goswami, said in a lecture given in February 70 in 1971. So Srila Prabhupada said, without Pancharatrika Vidhi, this polluted mind of the devotee cannot be purified. So Srila Prabhupada, following the steps of Rupa Goswami and the previous acharyas, recommend simultaneously the combination of 2 procedures, not only one. Right? At the same time, we need to practice Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavata Vidhi, the 2 processes. So Srila Prabhupada in previous acharyas encouraged the devotees to engage in the worship, in the deity worship, as a complementary sadhana to kirtana. It's good to remember that Indra Prabhu many times said the same thing. Indra Prabhu, of course, many devotees know as the great Kirtanya, the 24 hours Kirtana in Vrindavana. He's an icon of this activity. But he said many times that worship the deity is very important to complement and increase this procedure of remember Krishna all the time and never forget Krishna. Why? Why this? Why to do worship of deities? Complementary sadhana to kirtana, as worship helps to reduce material contaminations and no devotional tendencies that we can have during the day, during the different situations, different times. So if we combine these two procedures, kirtana and worship, we can use properly all our energy, or all our time, all our senses to serve Krishna in many forms as possible, all the time. So in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami has shown us 64 activities by which a devotee in the initial stage of devotional service can engage all the senses in the service of the Lord. And consider this 64, he selected the top 5. And these top 5 are a mix of these two procedures, Bhagavata Vidhi and Pantaratika Vidhi. We can see the top 5 of Rupa Goswami, the list of top 5. Listen to the Srimad Bhagavatam, associated with advanced devotees. Live in a holy place like Mathura, or like Vrindavana, Mayapur, Puri, New Jagannatha Puri, chanting the holy names of the Lord, and serve the deity form of the Lord with great faith. So, these 5 topics are a combination of two systems, showed in this showed very specifically in this verse, and according to Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas. So this same explanation given by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the same is said in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 22.128. Sadhu Sanganama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira Shradhaya Sevana. One should associate with devotees, chanting the holy names of the Lord, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, reside at Mathura and worship the deity with faith and veneration. Shri Shri Jagannatha Baladev Shrimat Subhadra Ki Jai. Shri Shri Gaura Nitai Ki Jai. Shalagrama Shila Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Okay, we have a complete guide how to increase our devotional services in different forms, using different systems according to the Guru Parampara. So, how to get help to do all of this? Of course, it's very difficult to start and perceive the details and the procedures, how to do, how to understand the results of these activities, and how to not commit offenses, how to improve, of course individually, but in congregation. Is a big procedure. And how to get help to do all of this. Guru, Shastra and Sadhu. Receiving mercy from Vaishnavas and from Guru. So, how to act in Sadhu Sangha? How is possible to act in sadhu sangha? With love and trust, seeking to serve Krishna together. So this aspect is very important. Together. And how? With love and trust. Exchanging love and trust. So in Bhagavad Gita 10.9 it said, Machitra matgata prana bhodyantara parasparan katayantas cha manyatyan tusanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lips are fully devoted to my service. And their desires great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. It's a sadhu sangha, this verse. It's a pure sadhu sangha. And enlightening, yes, great satisfaction and bliss, of course. Love and trust, happiness inside this process. Okay, we need the mercy of Vaishnavas and the mercy of Guru to practice all this procedure. And how to act and interact in sadhu sangha with trust and love. And how to interact with the Guru, with the spiritual master. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.34, it said, Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upidashanti te dhyanam dhyanina statvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. It's very important now. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. So, submission, service, and question. This is the base of the relationship with spiritual master. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So we have these two procedures, but it's good to remember that Lord Chaitanya give to us and show and explain that about the power of the holy names. It's the most powerful practice in the Kali Yuga, chanting the holy names, especially together. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 50.108, he said, Diksha Puraksharya Vidi Piksha Nakare Dihwa Sparshi Achandala Sabbare Udhare. One does not have to undergo initiation or execute the activities required before initiation. One simply has to vibrate the holy names with his lips. Thus, even a man in a lowest class can be delivered. So here is so clear that about the power of the holy names. There is no limit, there is no restriction. It's not necessary previous studies, preparation, position, nothing. The holy names itself, it's so powerful to everyone. So maybe when people can say, okay, if the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If the holy names are so powerful and the most blissful process recommended for Kali Yuga, according to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva, what we can combine these two procedures of Pantaratika Vidya and Bhagavata Vidya? Why? So, considering this understanding, Prabhupada is very perfect in all this, in all the purport show it to us. In this verse of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, is said in the purport, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so powerful that it does not depends on official initiation. It's not necessary. But if one is initiated and engaged in Pantaratrika Vidhi, the deity worship, his Krishna consciousness will awaken very soon, and his identification with the material world will be vanquished. So Srila Prabhupada highlights this procedure to combine the two procedures, the two systems, chanting the holy names and follow the regulative procedures in Pancharatrika Vidhi system. So what is the goal of worship the deities and chanting the holy names? Why to follow this procedure of step by step? The goal is the love of God. It means always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So in different situations, we can feel that the results and not the results, but the act to do specifically. In fact, when we are doing specific activities and remember these two procedures, it's more easy and more blissful to try to remember our relationship with our Guru, with Srila Prabhupada, and remember Krishna, remember the deities, remember the darshan, remember the sweetness of sadhu sangha, specific moments. Of course, we have many different moments, but all these moments are so important to our learn procedure, or step by step, to develop this sensation of try to never forget Krishna and always remember Krishna. So this is a sense of the combination of two procedures. So in this situation, when we start to do this and continuous development, we can feel step by step the sweetness, the small drops of sweetness of the remember Krishna, remember the devotees, remember the kirtana, the nectar of kirtana, remember the nectar of the books given by Srila Prabhupada, the nectar of the darshana that we can have with the deities every day. It's a big fortune in life. So we must be grateful to Srila Prabhupada every day. And of course, with all the acharyas, all the gurus, all the sannyasis, all the devotees, but mainly Srila Prabhupada, because without Srila Prabhupada, maybe what all of us will do in this time without Srila Prabhupada. No? It's difficult to imagine. Eh? What is my life today without Srila Prabhupada? So it's a good exercise to remember and put the grateful sensation in the heart. Grateful sensation with Srila Prabhupada and the devotees that stay in our life in any moments. So, if you have some comments, questions.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. The question is two marks, two ways, yeah? Pradipa mark and Bhagavata mark. So what is more important?
It's not, according to Srila Prabhupada, both are very important. Both are essentials. We cannot deny one and take all the attention and all the energy for another one. I feel more easily way to practice this. This is very difficult to me. But okay, we can feel this sensation. Oh, this is more easy, more blissful, and this is more difficult. But we need to follow the recommendations of the acharyas, of the guru, and the senior devotees also. The guru parampara, né? All the acharyas, the guru, the senior devotees, and we need to follow these instructions. And the instructions are to practice both, né? At the same time. Of course, each devotee have your karma, your story, your personal step by step, but we need to follow both. Both are the base, the essence of which is necessary to find the goal of life, this love of Krishna. No? Remember Krishna all the time and never forget Krishna. Both are important.
One more question, if possible. I'm sorry, maybe it's a funny question. How could Prajapatis, yeah, under the water, how could they chant?
How is possible?
How it's possible to chant under the water?
It's a very difficult procedure of mystic yoga. Né? Of course, this is practically impossible for common peoples like us, like me. Né? But for advanced devotees in high level of understand of the mystic power, different yoga procedures, né? Maybe it's possible. Né? We don't have a comprehension of that level of the devotion. Né?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhupada.
You told how important deity worship is, and I'm recently tried to find out how important second initiation is, because like mostly it's connected with deity worship, no? Like because some say like, yeah, no need to take second initiation if you do not deity worship, and it's enough first initiation to get back to Godhead, but other way we said that this Pavriti Marga, deity worship is very important. And yes, what you think about that?
So, of course, we have many procedures to follow, to do, and these procedures are part of the way that we must follow. No? Some peoples in this life receive the first initiation. Some peoples don't receive the first initiation. Some peoples receive the second initiation. Some peoples receive the sannyasi initiation. So each people have your personal history with Krishna and with his guru. No? So this is it's very personal, no? Relationship. So. Of course, all these procedures are very important. Né? If you ask for a sannyasi about these different procedures, né? Now, a sannyasi in this life experimented all these steps. Né? Born in a specific place, in a specific family, and after some times of contacting with Krishna consciousness, receive the initiation, receive second initiation, stay as a brahmachari many times, read different books, hear different classes. So a sannyasi followed step by step until receive the initiation of sannyasi. And another for